Yeah, we're connecting to the PM right now. I'm sorry, we're coming late. We're connecting to the PM right now. Please hit the like, hit the share button. Let's go.
I saw so many strange wild animals, lion, bear, great animals around the puppy. Then I saw the puppy look back and saw that the animals around him are so many. Suddenly the puppy, what I saw last month is different from what I'm seeing now. The puppy is developing some futures of wild animals. This prophetic word is not to the negative. It's very important. Take the Biafra agitation serious. Dialogue now. Because I see a time, doors are knocked, calls are made. People who are heady are saying we have come down, but these people are not willing to dialogue again. Please, redeeming the time, for the days are evil. Dialogue now. Dialogue now. I repeat it again. I'm not an evil man, but I'm telling you what I'm shown in the spirit. What? I'm seeing great people, important people in this nation coming together and saying, now, okay, we want to sit on the table, let us talk. But the people you want to talk with are saying, it's too late. Please, dialogue now. The days ahead are evil. Dialogue now. This is not a cry of a baby. It's a cry of an adult. I repeat it again. Dialogue now. Please. Every authority. There come a time when a revolution is about to take place. The power of gun, bombs, and bullets cannot hold an ideology. Please, dialogue now. This is not the time of, I have bullet, I have gun, I have bomb. This has nothing to do with bullet and bomb. If you know what I'm seeing in the realm of the spirit, everyone in federal authority should take the Biafra agitation serious. If you are once a founding father of this nation, sit down around the table and listen to your children. Dialogue now. This is not the time to arrest anybody. It's the time to hear the cry of the people. Dialogue now. Because he's going to be the last resultant solution at the end. But when you are asking, when the king comes down from his throne and he's saying, I'm ready to talk, and everybody is throwing stone on at you, then you will know that it is important to dialogue with honor and prestige and go out and there is peace in the land.
Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, which now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria.
To open an investigation specifically into the wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, and most notably targeting the indigenous people of Biafra.
Clear that now we've put the Biafran issue on the radar screen of the government, of the Biden administration, of Congress.
Ongoing and wide-scale systematic killing of the civilian population, and again, specifically targeting the IPOB.
Of weapons being used against Biafrans, but affirmatively supporting an effort to have an independence referendum organized and conducted by the United Nations, as we've done in South Sudan.
They formally open an investigation and look into what we are identifying as a genocide that's being committed by the Nigerian government and extremist Fulanis against the indigenous people of Biafra.
There's been nothing experience since 1960 to suggest there simply is not a way, given the history of division between the Fulani and the Biafrans, to think that they can coexist under a single sovereign roof.
Good evening, fellow Biafrans, from wherever you are. My name is Mazi Uche, a European representative of the government in exile. Welcome to this evening's edition of the State of the Nation address from the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Towards the end of this program, we are going to have the question and the answer section, of which we are going to take the questions from the Twitter space. So please prepare your questions while the Prime Minister would be ready to take on those questions. Now I would introduce the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile in the name of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Welcome, Prime Minister.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, fellow Biafrans. Good evening, lovers of freedom. Good evening, the friends of Biafrans all over the world that have seated this evening to listen to the State of the Union address by the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, officially the United States of Biafra. I welcome you all, ladies and gentlemen of the press, to this evening historic speech. We will be addressing a lot of issues, especially the new face of the Biafra liberation as we prepare to go to the poll for the Biafra self-referendum, which is starting on the 1st of February 2024. This evening's speech by my humble self will be focused on the evolution of freedom and human rights. And I will be making references to different heroes and heroines of this world. The evolution of freedom and human rights. On behalf of the Biafra government in exile, I appreciate Biafrans for their unwavering support so far. I also call on Biafrans world over to stand firm and continue to stand with the Biafra government, both in the exile and in the de facto government of the homeland. as we embark on a next phase of our liberation, which is self-referendum. I want to remind us today, however, how our heroes and heroines of the past changed our world today, starting from as far back as 1380, over 630 years. Some of us who may be very conversant about freedom fighting may have come across a very famous speech made by John Ball titled, "All Men by Nature Were Created Alike. Evolution of Freedom." In May 1381, Wycliffe priest called John Ball addressed a group of rebelling laborers who would later take part in the so then called peasant revolt, a revolt that was partly caused by the introduction of the 1380 tax. In his great speech, Ball argued that all men by nature were created alike, that the servitude of agricultural workers continued what he called an unjust oppression. He argued they serve to cast off the yoke of bondage and recover liberty. They should fight for equality in liberty and battle against degree, nobility, and class. It is these words that are often cited as the inspiration for the June 1381 revolt led by Wat Tyler. Today, these ideas may sound pretty normal to us and many of you 21st century humans. But the truth is that this speech was made over 630 years ago, when it was considered very dangerous to even think that such thing should be said by anyone, let alone preach it. That's why this speech is very important in freedom fighting. Sadly, both Ball and Taylor were executed for this word as traitors for their egalitarian views. They were killed because their pro-socialist and progressive belief were seen as a threat 630 years ago. They saw them and their speeches as a threat to the established order of the society. Still, their actions and their words live on. Their word that was considered dangerous, that led to their death, has become part of human rights laws that we all enjoy today, but they die for it. It is not because they were killed, but indeed their views has become part of international laws for a progressive world. This would say, I would say, was a foundation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that all men are equal, but Ball and Tyler died for saying and advocating for it. That is evolution of freedom and human rights. What was abolished, what was a dangerous thing 630 years ago has become your law today, because somebody stood and said it. That's why, as a Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, it does not matter what you call me today. What matters to me is what you call me after 10 years, when I have liberated my people. This is the reason many countries like Finland, who are well advanced, can't hand Simon Ekpa over to any terrorist country, like Nigeria, for standing firm, fighting and defending his people, and a stand to be challenged anywhere. Finland is living in the future. It's a fact. My fellow Biafrans, let me remind you that there is another great speech called "Let us make reparation to Africa." Reparation is today word that many human rights activists, many freedom fighters are preaching freely, including the government that killed for such word. Reparation to Africa was first made by William Wilberforce. William Wilberforce was an 18th century British politician, famed for his battle against the slave trade. On the 12th of May, 1789, Wilberforce addressed the House of Commons. With a fearful precision, he argued them to vote for the slave trade abolition in the British Empire, citing inhuman practices as an effusion of human blood. Then, the advocacy of Wilberforce was so dangerous, become a threat to the British Empire. 2 years before Wilberforce made the speech, 132 African slaves were thrown into the sea from a slave ship. Hence, the reference to human blood. He criticized the use of violence and tyranny among seamen and merchants towards slaves, and cited his belief in the commandment, "Thou shalt not murder," as the source of his abolitionist belief. Wilberforce also argued, "Thou shalt do no murder," as the source of his abolitionist belief. He argued that such cruel trade could not possibly be regulated or conducted in a human way. Total abolition is the only possible cure, he argued. This speech made by Wilberforce made any plea of ignorance on the part of his fellow MPs at the House of Commons of the United Kingdom. Made them untenable. The callousness of the slave trade was revealed for all to see for the very first time. The campaign of Wilberforce and others to bring to an end to slavery was a very hard fight. They fought it. This speech was a significant moment in bringing about the British West Indies in 1807 and the Slavery Abolition Act in 1833, which abolished slavery throughout the British Empire. This is evolution of freedom. I want you to pay attention to today's State of the Union, where we are making history the way it is, to make sure we save our people from the hand of the Nigeria Islamic State. We will make a very tough decisions as we move on from today going forward. This decision will later become history. So I'm making references to the other heroes and heroines of this world, who at the time of their own freedom fighting, everything they did became abominable, only for what they did to become the law that guides the universe today. It is the evolution of freedom fighting and freedom. It is important to educate our people while we are taking the steps of the Biafra government. The Biafra government are taking the step it's taking today. is that we have figured out what will work for us against Nigeria. It is also very important to educate our people how history are made as we go to the poll for our self-referendum. Because they continue to ask, is US supporting you? Is America supporting you? Do you have European Union observers? And I have told them we don't need any of those observers. We are conducting this referendum by ourselves, and we are going to declare Biafra, defend it with every mechanism that we have. And it will go down in history as Biafran used every mechanism to liberate themselves from Nigeria Islamic State. In the United States, a woman had no right to vote in an election until a woman called Susan Anthony fought for it. Somebody somewhere have to always stood up and fight. Somebody somewhere had always stood up to fight before change could happen. That is exactly what the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Simon Ekpa, and the entire cabinet and the entire government in exile are doing today. Somebody somewhere have to start this fight, and it will be successful at the end of the day. When you remain resolute and never change your principle according to who you meet. The question Susan Anthony asked in one of her famous speech was, are women person? Susan Anthony was an American suffragette and a co-founder of the National Women Suffrage Association, a group that fought for women's right to vote in the United States. In 1872, she became the first American woman to vote in an election. Listen, just 1872, women didn't have the right to vote in America. 1872. This woman took it upon herself to fight and liberated women from the shackles of the American system that made them lesser human. She became the first American woman to vote in an election, albeit illegally. She was charged in January of 1873 for voting without a lawful right to vote. Though she wasn't allowed to speak, even to defend herself in the court. She made this speech of our women person in the month running up to her trial. In the speech, she argued that in voting, she was simply exercising her right, citizens' right. Quoting the US Constitution, she pointed out that it was not the white male citizens that formed the Union of the State of America, but we, the people, and that as a person, she deserved the right to participate in democracy. Are women person? She famously asked. If so, she then argued, they are citizens of the United States. Why then should they not have the right to vote? I want you to listen to understand the evolution of freedom. Before she did it, nobody ever stood up to fight for women's rights to vote in the United States. She took it upon herself, and today women can vote. But it wasn't only women. It wasn't only women's rights that she campaigned for. She also argued that black people should have right to vote, since they also are persons and thus U.S. citizens. This idea of personhood may seem very simple, but Susan Anthony's argument points out the absurdity of women exclusion from democracy. In this United States, many of you are enjoying today as women and voting and kicking against the freedom of Biafra. Equality before the law was her radical aspiration. Despite her cogent argument, she was found guilty. She was found guilty for rising up against the system that excluded women's right to vote. She was found guilty in the United States Court of Law and was fined $100. To show her commitment to what she believed in, to her cause, she refused to pay that fine of $100. You know what is $100? As far back as 1870 something. $100. That should be millions of dollars today. She refused to pay that fine and continued to campaign voraciously for female suffrage, a battle that was eventually won in 1919. From 1870 something to 1919, she won the battle against the women exclusion in the United States democracy. Today, many Biafrans in the United States, many Biafrans of Nigeria, because the Biafrans in the United States are supporting what we're doing today. Many women from Biafra of Nigeria are enjoying the voting right in America, but a woman like you fought for it. My respect to those Biafran women who are deeply involved in the Biafran government. You are making history as part of the evolution of freedom for a better society. Suzanne Best quote, "I declare to you that women must not depend on the protection of man, but must taught to protect herself. And there I take my stand." This was one of the best quotes of Susan Anthony. Today, this Susan quote has become the policy and the law of Finland. The reason you can't touch me in Finland, Finland understands the evolution of freedom, and it is my right to fight and protect my people, and that I will do until our freedom is achieved. Why in Africa today? Many countries in Africa are against same-sex marriage. I want you to understand the evolution of freedom because of our culture in Africa. But let me remind you that America was there centuries ago. Where Africa is today, America was there centuries ago. And let me also make it very clear, I am not advocating for same-sex marriage. I am only taking you back to the history and the evolution of freedom. This, what American government, including the President of America, is supporting today. Of course, not Donald Trump. But those, Obama, Biden, and co, supporting today was abomination in America centuries ago. A man called Oscar Wilde, in his speech, "Love that dare not speak its name." This renowned speech by Oscar Wilde, made during his trial for gross indecency with other male person. This is perhaps one of the most emotional and poignant speech ever made. In it, While Oscar described his love for Lord Alfred Douglas as such a great affection of an elder man for a young man. Choose the love that dare not speak its name. He described his love as beautiful, fine, and noblest form of affection. But while Oscar explained the word, does not understand it. He explained that the world back then does not understand it. Indeed, they mock his love as unnatural and unlawful. But wide speech proved just the opposite, that there is, in fact, nothing like unnatural about it. After the speech, the atheist Max Weber told a friend that Oscar's speech was simply wonderful and carried the whole court right away, quite tremendous burst of applause. But in all the applauses given to Wilde, it was not enough. A second trial, Wilde was sentenced to 2 years in prison with hard labor for nothing other than his attraction to a member of the same sex. It was this time in prison that led to his tragic death. He died in prison a few years later. But today, the present and the past president of the United States of America are in the forefront, championing same-sex marriage, that somebody was sentenced to death and the person 2 years with hard labor and the person died in prison. Obama, Biden, and many of them in the United States today, leaders, are the one championing same-sex marriage. It has become law and legal, but someone in the name of Oscar Wilde died for it. Fellow Biafrans, evolution of freedom. You make history and make history happen. That is what Simon Ekpa, under the Biafra Republic government in exile, is doing. That history is what I and the entire cabinet and the supporters and sponsors are making today. As the fight for equality of women continued as far back as 1900, one of the leading feminist activists called Pankhurst incited a meeting to rebellion. Pankhurst was quoted by Nelson Mandela as supporting their militancy rebellion against apartheid. She said in a meeting, "I incite this meeting to rebellion." This particular stand by Emmeline Pankhurst is similar to a radical feminist message, that of militant protest and action. In her speech, she was made and become the leader of this Women's Social and Political Union. She herself set that particular union up in October 1912. And it stirred up the passion of all who heard it. Amongst other things, Pankhurst
Please let me Let me refresh, please. 1 minute. Let me refresh. I don't know why this thing is hanging.
Equality of women continued from 1900. One of the leading feminist activists called Pankhurst incited a meeting to rebellion. This speech, though not quite a famous one in freedom fighting, not to be compared to a very popular one, Death of Freedom. The speech was made to the Women's Social and Political Union, which Emmeline Pankhurst herself set up in October 1912, and stirred up the passion of all those who heard it. Amongst other things, Pankhurst urged her supporters to be militant in their own way and to do whatever they can to express their militancy. Protests in the House of Commons, smash windows, and express your anger and attack the sacred idol of property. She explained that because the militancy of tactics had helped to bring about change back then, the suffragette must also adopt radical tactics of civil disobedience. Her last word, though, and perhaps the most powerful one, to rapturous applause and cheers in the auditorium, Pankhurst finished by exclaiming, "I incite this meeting to rebellion," and addressing the movement, "Take me if you dare, but this isn't just a foolhardy rhetoric." Many suffragettes spent time in prison for their actions, and a larger number of them went on hunger strike whilst behind bars. So, whatever the government does to her, Pankhurst declared, "You will not keep me in the prison," making her speech more than just a radical call to arms, but an open defiance of the government oppression. This defiance went on for 2 more years until the outbreak of World War I, when many suffrage women and the movement dedicated themselves toward the war effort. It was at that end of the war, in 1918, that the first women from 8.4 million of them got the vote in the United States, in the United Kingdom. I want you people to understand the evolution of freedom that all of you enjoy today, that people paid price. Many, including the government, did not believe in the vision, and I call them the visionary leaders of this world. Every freedom fighter is a visionary leader. Vision carriers. We see tomorrow, we see years to come, and after we are gone, our world will become law to those that are still alive. That is exactly the way it is. Everything we do today will become your law, because we see the future that the idiotic and the buffoon leaders of today could not see. Corrupt leaders who only interested in their selfish interests, who only interest and nothing else. So we see beyond human comprehension. Just like today, we build and unveil Biafra Army because we know that in this 2024, Nigeria will be at war. The Islamists will be everywhere killing Nigerians. Today, only in Biafra land that they are not killing. Our security challenges in Biafra is state-sponsored, state agent, and state police and military in uniform. These are the security challenges that Biafra people are facing today. Not terrorists from Sahel. They don't dare to come. We control our territory. And we deal with them whenever we want. Now our focus is on the legitimization of Nigeria. A vision that Simon Ekpa and the Biafra government saw, including Mazen Amdekan, saw it many years ago. These are visionary leaders that carries vision and want to use it to change their life, or the life of their people before it is late. Evolution of freedom. The evolution of freedom, and someone must take the lead. The Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile is taking that bullet today. And I will take the bullet for Biafra all the way to Biafra freedom and on your behalf. I want us to look at Gandhi. One of the most famous and important speech of Gandhi is Quit India. Quit India. It played a central role in the Quit India movement, which helped to gain India independence from Britain. In the speech, Gandhi reinforced his commitment to pacifism and non-violence. A non-violent soldier of freedom will covet nothing for himself. He fights only for the freedom of his country. He also declared that once independence has been won, it will be the people of India to decide democratically who rule their country. He expressed his wish for equal freedom for all and India independence, but he encouraged his supporters not to hate the British people, only to hate British imperialism. He went on to say, we must therefore purge ourselves of hatred, because hatred can never bring about justice. Instead, the Indian independence movement must be a friend to the British, whilst also fighting for the freedom of their country. Only then will their movement succeed. The sentiment of this speech are very similar to Gandhi. I want to avoid violence, which he made during his 1922 trial. Again, he urged the people of India towards non-violent, yet he was in prison, and explained violent non-cooperation only multiplies. It is this pacifism that Gandhi is most highly regarded for. And it was his work for India's independence that won the country's its freedom in 1947. The Biafra people are not taking the non-violent approach of Gandhi, because the first question you should ask is, who is violent? See, the Biafra people or the Nigeria Islamic State? But I will come to that. I want to take Biafrans back to the days of Lumumba, Patrick Lumumba. We are going to show to the world that black man can do this. That was the speech. What black man can do. Fellow Biafrans, I can assure you today that those of them who are the armies of Congo in Biafra land will be eliminated in due time. By true patriotic Biafra forces, you will have no place in Biafra. I am referring and sending direct message to the army of Congo. Those army of Congo that are loyal to the enablers and killers of their own people that eliminated and assassinated Patrice Lumumba. The dream of Congo died with Lumumba. When the Congo gained its independence in 1960, its new prime minister, Patrice Lumumba, made this passionate and momentous speech to his country people. He described the struggle of his countrymen for independence as one of tears, fire, and blood. This struggle Lumumba went on should make them profoundly proud because it was a noble and just struggle that put an end to the humiliating bondage imposed on us by force, just like the Biafran people are going through it today. His countrymen had suffered. They were insulted just like the Biafra people, simply because of the color of their skin. They were, as he said, treated as second-class citizens, just like the Biafra people can never be president in Nigeria. Living in tumble-down straw huts, whilst the white Europeans live in magnificent houses in the Congo's city. But all of this had passed. The Congo regained its independence, and in that freedom, Lumumba was determined to show the world what the black man can do, just like many of us in Biafra liberation are saying today. Their country would be the center of radiance of the whole of Africa. They would establish new just laws, put an end to discrimination, and strive for a piece of courage and goodwill. Lumumba's plan constituted a truly inspiring, hopeful vision. But sadly, a year after Congo's independence, Lumumba was killed by troops loyal to the army chief, and his dream for Congo never became reality. Those of you in Biafra land that are waiting to become the Congo Army Congo, or those army of Congo in Biafra land, you will be eliminated in due time by the true patriotic forces. You will never have a place in Biafra land. The Congo army will never have a place in Biafra land after independence of Biafra has been restored. Fellow Biafrans, I can go on and on and on, making references to the evolution of freedom, how men and the women shaping the world that we all enjoy today by their sacrifice and selfless services to their people. Of course, I cannot end this great speech today and address to the Biafra people as we are making progress without making reference to Martin Luther King Jr. in his speech, I Have a Dream. King started by describing the miracles of the segregation of the chains of discrimination under which African American has suffered for so many years, despite their supposed emancipation. He refers to the Declaration of Independence as a bad check, as far as black people were concerned, in that their unalienable right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness had never been upheld. But Martin Luther King saw hope after this summer of the Negro legitimate discontent. there would be an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. And unless this came about, the whirlwind of revolt will continue to shake the foundation of our nation. And I am borrowing from King that Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra resistance fighters, as long as Biafra continue to suffer under Nigeria, we will continue to revolt, and there will never be peace in Nigeria until Biafra exit. We will make sure that the war is all over Nigeria for the liberation and the freedom of our people, and of course, for the self-defense of our people. We are going to make sure that every security apparatus in Nigeria will be decimated in time. That's where the attack against Biafra are being planned. So allow us to go, or you will be given hell. King also mentioned and said, but in urging revolution like Gandhi, King urged against violence and hate. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. After all, the freedom of white people is inextricably bound to our freedom, he said. It is then that King described his dream, a dream that is deeply rooted in the American dream, that one day we will recognize that all men are created equal. Now, referring to the first John Ball, that all men are alike. After decade, many years, King Martin Luther King made a reference to that. The hope that one day sons of former slave and sons of former slave owner will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. It is a dream that is rooted in love, in compassion for the whole of mankind, a dream of equality and brotherhood. King ended his speech with the famous exclamation, "Let freedom reign." And indeed, freedom did reign in 1964. The Civil Rights Act was passed, and in 1965, the Voting Rights Act was passed, which finally gave federal agencies effective power to enforce the rights of Black Americans. It is where it is wearing for, if it is wearing for King, and if it wearing for the great speech in Washington, perhaps those acts would never have become a reality. Today, they left the problem and start tackling sit at home. But I have this to tell the enablers in Biafra land that are releasing speeches and press release against the Biafra sit at home. True peace is not measured by the absence of tension emanating from sit at home. But peace in Biafra land will be measured by the presence of justice, and where there is no justice, there is no peace. The evolution of freedom. I want to refrain myself and repeat what I said for easy understanding. My message to Nigeria Islamic State today: they left the problem they created and start tackling Biafra sit at home. But I will tell them this, to those enablers, that for you to have peace and to measure the peace, whether in Biafra territory or other parts of Nigeria, peace cannot be measured by the absence of tensions emanating from sit-at-home order. But peace will only be measured by the presence of justice. And where there is no justice, there is no peace. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still illegally being detained. It is a fact. Court has freed him. While Boko Haram are being recruited into the Nigerian army, Biafrans are being abducted, enforcing their disappearance every day. And of course, we will never lay down our arms until Biafra is achieved. Fellow Biafrans, I want you to understand that the government in exile is making history and nothing is going to stop the Biafra freedom from coming. We know and have the key. Nelson Mandela, in one of his speech, an ideal for which I am prepared to die, at the end of his trial in 1964, Nelson Mandela took to the podium to explain the ANC reason for abandoning Gandhi principles of non-violence to their freedom, and instead adopting the militant method of sabotage against property, which the activist Emmeline Pankhurst had also encouraged. At that time, Mandela explained that his decision to support militant aggression was not made through recklessness or from any love for violence. Instead, it was the result of a calm and sober assessment of the political situation that has risen after many years of tyranny, exploitation, oppression of many people by the whites. Non-violent action had not worked and had often ended in the death of hundreds of protesters, just like Nigeria are doing to Biafra today. Choose. He argued that the government which uses force to support its rule teaches the oppressed to use force to oppose it. Justifying his decision to engage in sabotage and hostility. The most powerful part of the speech of Mandela, though, came to the end. At the end, in his closing speech, Mandela said his lifelong commitment to the African struggle. I have cherished the ideal of democracy and a free society in which all persons will live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal for which I hope to live for and to see realized. But my Lord, if it is need be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. Apparently, as he delivered this final speech, Mandela started staring at the judge directly in the eye. Happily, unlike Martin Luther King Jr., who adopted the approach of Gandhi of nonviolence, Mandela wasn't killed for his belief, and indeed, he became the president of South Africa in 1994. Mandela died in 2013 from a respiratory infection, though his legacy lives on. While Mandela's funeral was ongoing, Obama was there, present. Obama also quoted the speech in a tribute to Mandela in Johannesburg. While Obama was making the speech, Mandela was still in the list as a terrorist by the CIA. Whether they forgot to remove his name from the terrorist list or not, the facts are there that while Obama was giving eulogy to Mandela, he was still listed as a terrorist in the United States. Evolution of freedom. Evolution. Today, everybody is taking Mandela as a legend, which he is and was. fellow Biafran, I want to make sure that the history we are making today, that you know the foundation of the actions, decisions we are taking today to liberate you. Che Guevara is a Cuban. He's a Cuban revolutionary. He was captured and executed on the order of the Bolivian president in 1967. A few days later, Fidel Castro made a speech in honor of his close friend and comrade. Castro described Che as an incomparable soldier and an incomparable leader who was both capable and courageous. He was a person of visionary intelligence and a broad culture. Two, but a man of ideas and a man of action. His death is, of course, a loss. But as Castro explained, the artist may die, but what will surely never die is the act to which he has dedicated his life. Ojukwu started Biafra. Ojukwu is no more. Biafra is here. Philip Effiong started Biafra. Philip Effiong is no more. Biafra is here. Many heroes of Biafra who started Biafra, they are all gone. But Biafra is here. How truth is this? The revolutionary always are those who see tomorrow. Their word always live almost forever. Perhaps this word inspires that famous line in the film V for Vendetta. Beneath this mask, there is an idea. Mr. Greedy and the idea are bulletproof. Fidel Castro went on to say that causes are not defeated when people fall. And just because Che died does not mean his struggle were in vain. Same thing I'm telling to the Nigerian government today. Kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't mean that Biafra have ended. But you boasted when you renditioned him to Nigeria how you have ended Biafra. You boasted to the world in a press conference that Biafra has ended. And just because Che died does not mean his struggle were in vain. After all, Che was not just a great general. He was also a great thinker. And by killing him, they have not eliminated his ideas, eliminated his virtue, eliminated his example. Rather, Che will live on as a martyr and a symbol of dedication to the revolution. And that's exactly what happened. Castro's word about the legacy of his friend proved to be almost prophetic. It is always like that. Che has indeed become a socialist icon for movement worldwide. And I am reading about him today. And I am sure there are very few people who have never come across a Che Guevara t-shirt or poster at some point in their lives. It seems then that ideas really are bulletproof, especially radical ones. The evolution of freedom. My message to the Nigeria representative in the Southeast and South-South, otherwise known as Biafra territory today, is that you may choose to look the other way, but you can never say again that you did not know the evolution of freedom fighting that changes the world for better. Some people today tell us about non-violent agitation as the only way. And I ask them, who is violent? Is it the Biafra people that were carrying flags and walking on the street, or the Nigeria security agents that were shooting and killing them? Who is the one that is violent? You carry the flag and you get killed. Are you the one constituting violence or the state that is sponsoring the killing? What do self-defense against the killers means? What we do today is to just defend our land and ourselves against Nigeria Islamic State and the killers. And at the same time, taking our freedom and the future into our hands because a government that kill protesters are not ready for peaceful discussion. The reason we, the Biafran in exile, has taken guns, arms, ammunition in our position to defend our land is because a government that kill protesters are not ready for peaceful discussion. My fellow Biafrans, well-wishers, political leaders across the globe listening to me today, or that will listen to this speech later on, I want to inform the world today that Biafra has taken up arms and we are not dropping these arms until our freedom is achieved. For those making references to peaceful agitation as the only pathway to freedom, listen to me today. The reason for our abandoning Gandhi principles of non-violent and state adopting militancy, guerrilla welfare as a method to sabotage against the Nigeria Islamic State and forces and its presence in Biafra territory, just like Mandela and many more, is a decision we made out of necessity. Our decision to support guerrilla welfare, militant aggression was not also made through recklessness or from any love for violence. Instead, it was as a result of a calm and a sober assessment of the political situation that had arisen after many years of tyranny, killings, exploitation, and oppression of the Biafra people by the Islamic State of Nigeria. Non-violent actions had not worked and had often ended in the death of hundreds of protesters in Biafra territory. Not only Biafrans are being killed when they protest. We have seen the Lekki toll gate shooting. Those carrying Nigeria flag were murdered in cold blood. Fellow Biafrans, during the Massoub led by Wazirike, they were not armed, but Nigeria Islamic State killed them without justification. Many Massoub members were killed and thrown in the ocean, thrown in the river. Nobody has been held responsible for that. And finally, they forced Wazirike to quit the struggle. And Wazirike joined Nigeria kingmakers in the southeast. Today, every election, he will have his opinion. The IPOB, led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, IPOB was also a splinter group from Massoub after Wazirike was compelled by the Islamic State to quit Biafra struggle and become one of the kingmakers in the southeast. The movement of IPOB started in 2013. Thousands of IPOB members has been killed and murdered in cold blood, and many bodies were thrown in the river. Obibo massacre was very fresh in our memory, and we are coming to revenge Obibo massacre. It's going to happen very soon. The revenge of Obibo massacre by the Nigeria terrorists in River State will and must be avenged. Biafrans under IPOB, thousands were killed, thousands were abducted, thousands were butchered, and their family never found their bodies. Many are being detained, including the leader today. They kidnapped him from Kenya and renditioned him to Nigeria. And they have denied him every right under Nigeria. They were not violent. They did not carry arms. They only carried flag. Until today, Nigeria has violated every court order, including the ultimatum from the United Nations. And of course, out of fear, the defunct leadership he left, called the DOS, presently IPOB Nigeria, joined Nigerian politicians against genuine agitators and become IPOB Nigeria. Today, every Biafra movement has collapsed into Biafra government in exile. Both in the homeland and in exile, Nigeria has recruited Islamic State fighters into their military, police, and other forces to continue the holy war of Islam against indigenous people, and Biafra government in exile can't sit back and watch Nigerian state kill Biafra unchallenged. Therefore, the government which uses force to support its rules teaches the oppressed to use force to oppose it. We will continue to justify our decision to engage in sabotaging and hostility against terrorists in uniform until they are withdrawn completely from Biafra territory from the 40 United States of Biafra. Fellow Biafran, over 10,000 live viewers on Twitter. I am a Pan-Africanist. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and a free society which all persons will live together in harmony. And with equal opportunity, it is an ideal for which I hope to live for and to see realized. For that reason, our approach to Biafra freedom is multidimensional. It is not just hostility against Nigeria terrorist state, but we also have adopted a democratic process by embarking on self-referendum, which will be conducted through electronic voting. We understand the challenges of this approach, especially when our people in the rural area have no electricity and internet. We, however, expected to have a reasonable number of votes of Biafra extraction across the globe. The Biafra self-referendum will start on the 1st of February 2024, and there will be 3 stages to this self-referendum. This stage 3 will run through to our convention in Finland later this year. We continue to demand the withdrawal of the Nigeria terrorist troop from police to army to any Nigeria troop from Biafra territory, as it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt their involvement in terrorism and insecurity in our land. Today, terrorists kidnapped school pupils in Ekiti community. In Yoruba land, we have secured Biafra land, and the insecurity we have are state-sponsored, being orchestrated by the Nigerian army and the terrorist police. They are involved in kidnapping, raping, killing of women and children, and burning of our marketplaces, homes, and businesses. For the self-referendum that will start on the 1st of February, we hereby declare sit-at-home civil disobedience to create awareness that will enable Biafrans to vote while in their comfort homes. So, fellow Biafrans, on the 1st of February, which is Thursday, entire Biafra land will be locked down. We have communicated all bishops in Biafra territory. We have communicated all officials by mail who reside in Biafra territory. Anyone who violates the order of Biafra government will have him or herself to blame. It is now a revolutionary phase of the Biafra liberation, and Biafra government remain the only legitimate government of the Biafra people, and Biafra people are loyal to. And Biafra government also has a legitimate de facto government chosen by the people of Biafra and not the Nigeria state. Our state government are very active. We have 40 active United States of Biafra. We have 40 active state administrators, otherwise called governors of these 40 states. These 40 states have administrators, state executives that are running the affair of the de facto government of Biafra. Let this sit at home that is coming on the 1st of February be shared to every cranny of Biafra territory, as we are going to lock down every road leading to Biafra territory. The voting will start immediately from 6 a.m. on the 1st of February 2024. The link to vote will be made public 12:00 on the eve of the voting of the referendum date, which first day night by 12:00, 12 a.m. Biafra time. I thank you very much for listening to this State of the Union today, and I will be open for questions from the audience. On Twitter, we have about 10,500 total viewers. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, for that wonderful State of the Union address. Now we are going to take questions from the audience. Please go ahead and ask your questions through the Twitter space. I will be looking out for the questions that will be coming to the Prime Minister. Thank you very much.
Are saying we want to be free. It is not only Biafra that is going to be free this year. A lot of nations will break. Nigeria is going to break. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Share. I am telling you now, it is not a hidden thing. It is going to happen this year. Those of you who are planning to have election in 2023, which is next month, you are going to fail. We will disappoint you, and you will disappoint yourself. We are saying we want to be free. It is not only Biafra that is going to be free this year. A lot of nations will break. Nigeria is going to break into pieces, and we, the Biafra people, are going to make it possible. I am telling you now, it is not a hidden thing. It is going to happen this year. Those of you who are planning to have election in 2023, which is next month, you are going to fail. We will disappoint you, and you will disappoint yourself.
Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic.
Respect, sir. Asking on behalf of those that do not believe in what we are doing.
Thank you very much. The reason for this historic references is for you to understand that you make your history. Nobody makes the history for you. So after the self-referendum, we gather in Finland from all over the world. And in Finland, we will use the outcome of the referendum to declare the restoration of independent state of Biafra. And of course, after that, we will make sure that no presence of Nigeria will be allowed in Biafra territory. The sabotage will be taken to the highest level. We will make sure there is no government house under Nigeria will be staying in Biafra territory. So it is then a declaration of independent state of Biafra by declaring the restoration of Biafra, and then we begin to delegitimize Nigeria by making sure that no presence of Nigeria government in Biafra will be allowed. And by the activities and the hostilities of Biafra against Nigeria will bring the international community into what is going to be happening going forward in Nigeria. So that's where we're going. So what the fact is that after the declaration, a why of the hostility, we will take it to the next level, and that will create the room for the international community to pave it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our Prime Minister. The response to that question has been addressed, which is the delegitimization of the Nigerian government from Biafra territory. We go further to take more questions. Your questions through the chat. We are looking out for questions here. Whatever it is you want to get clarifications from the Prime Minister, this is the chance to do that. So please go ahead and ask a question. And we have one question here. I would love to ask, why if the Nigerian government fights the link on that very day?
The reason why we have a long time, is to make sure that there will be no much disenfranchisement of the Biafra people. So I don't think that the system we are going to use, Nigeria government will be able to fight those links. So, but if they do, we have many alternatives, and we hope that it doesn't happen like that. And we are very sure of this link we are using. So everybody should understand that whatever the decision the government of Biafra has taken, we have considered the interest of the Biafra and considered also the process that we are following. And we are very, very sure that this particular process is not going to be sabotaged by the Nigerian government. We have many, many options to take if any problem. And remember, after the stage 1 of the voting, which will end sometime in May, we will reassess what we have done, where we need to make amendments, and then we'll go to the second stage of voting. So the voting is stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Another question goes, after redeclaration in Finland, will Nigeria still have rights to come into Biafra territory?
It depends on our firepower. Our target and agenda is to make sure that before then, we will be taking up on all these barracks where these terrorists are coming and planning the attack against our people. And remember, it remains a guerrilla warfare, which will be taken to the maximum level. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that response. We have another question here. What happens to Biafrans in regards to their money in the Nigerian bank accounts after the declaration?
We are working on the Biafra Federal Reserve. And of course, the declaration, as you all know, is not a total declaration that we are going to cut everything off from Nigeria. But the Biafra government is working on a Federal Reserve. We're also working on the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency of the Biafra. And hopefully by then, our digital currency should be ready. And Biafrans may decide to get their wealth and money and convert them to Biafra currency, Biafra coin, digital currency, and it will be safe.
Thank you very much. The next question goes like this. Concerning the elderly, how do we get them to vote?
The elderly, we are having what we call what we call the electoral officers, many parts of Biafra, and those elders will be attended to. Many of them, we will try as much as possible to see that many elders, especially in the rural area, will be attended to by the electoral officers. And that particular mechanism and measure has been discussed and assessed. And so going into the first 3 weeks or few weeks of the voting, we'll be able to know actually the inflow of vote, and then we will re-strategize on how to effectively capture those elders in the rural area. But of course, above all, the most important thing is that those of you who have elderly people in your families can also help in making sure that they participate in the voting by sharing the link, getting their information, and asking them what is their opinion on Biafra. If they say that they are voting for Biafra, you can help them to make that particular process. But what we are doing now is what we believe works for us as a government. So it is we that design what works for us based on the situation on ground. And because Nigeria is a very fragile state, we cannot go, physically and start voting in Biafra land because of the fragile state of Nigeria, and because Nigeria, as everybody knows, is a terrorist state that doesn't understand anything rule of law. That does not respect the right that they also are signatory to, especially right of association, right to self-determination, and all that. That doesn't respect those laws. So we have adopted this particular measure, which we believe will work for us. And anybody that is not very happy, we don't care. If the United Nations is not happy with the outcome of the result, then they should step forward and organize a new referendum for Biafra people, which I believe we will be very happy to participate in those referendums. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again. I think we will take this as the last question. This is in regards to the names that should be used while voting. So this person is asking, made changes to my name / I have my father's name as my surname. My family bears my grandfather's names. Can I add them during the referendum?
You can answer your name during the referendum. So long as you are a Biafran, use whatever name you have and your legal name during the voting. So it doesn't matter. So long as you are a Biafran, your vote will count. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. That will be all from here.
Thank you very much, audience. As we'll bring this particular session to an end, I want to remind everyone to remain resolute. And above all, I will make a very special announcement, for some changes that we have in the government of Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Effective from today, especially those of you in the United States, effective from today, we have an acting American rep in the name of pharmacist Diana Eme. Pharmacist Diana Eme is now the American rep, the new acting American rep, while Dr. Agie has been assigned to a different, have given a different assignment in the government. So from today, those of you in the United States, give your support to her. Make sure you work closely with her. Our target is to make sure that we capture the entire 50 states of the United States. We want to have representatives, want to have admin in those states. So if you reside in the United States and your state is not yet part of the government, or that you don't have the admin in your state, please contact the Biafra government, contact anybody or the media team who will give you contact to Pharmacist Diana. Pharmacist Diana will be the rep of the North and South America, including Canada. Thank you, Biafra people. And on this note, I say, may God bless you. May God bless the United States of Biafra. May God bless the Liberation Army. May God bless the Biafra resistance fighters. May God bless the Biafra Navy. May God bless all other forces, all other armed group, all other brothers in arms that have stood up to defend Biafra land and are in alliance with the Biafra government. May God bless all of you who have worked assiduously to make sure that we have achieved what we have achieved today. Remember that the struggle for Biafra has gained a very powerful global attention, irrespective of the fact that most of the multinational news channels or houses are not talking about Biafra. Doesn't mean the world leaders are not getting the direct message from different channels of what is going on in Biafra. We will continue to make tougher decisions to create this awareness that will go to the right people that needed to know what is going on in Nigeria. And remember, your freedom lies in your hand. And what has not happened before, you make it happen and it becomes your history.
Yeah, looks like we have it has come to an end. I don't know what happened to this in my side. Well, thank you for joining this live broadcast. Yeah, this thing is actually over. The program is over. Yeah. I don't know. Some of you might want to come in and ask some other necessary questions. Some of you might want to come in and ask some bothering questions or questions that borders on the referendum. You can come in. Let me put the link. Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I lost my own internet. Can you guys hear me? Okay, this one is lacking behind. Okay, my internet is good. Yep. Yeah, let me put the link. Let me put the link. Let me put the link so you can come in and ask some questions. The link is there. The link is there. Excuse me. Maybe like 20, 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. If there's anybody that has any question, I don't want to add to what the PM have said. The PM have delivered a fantastic State of the Union address. A fantastic State of the Union address. Yeah, if you have any question on the voting that will begin the day after tomorrow, come in, please. Choose actually, this is for questions. I don't want us to make so much of contribution. I don't know, maybe you want to say something, but let me be very brief.
Thank you, my brother. I salute you people. And what a question to answer. I mean to ask. But I'm happy. I'm only loaded. And I like this that he exposed so that those ignorant fools in Nigeria, let them know that what we are doing is duly right. If they like, let them join. If they don't like, it's up to them. When the time of flushing reach, we flush them, we put them in a extractor, extract them all out. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Choose. Thank you very much. Yeah, God bless you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I heard you. Thank you very much, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you, my brother. I said thank you very much.
Yeah, go on.
All right, Azubike, please take your turn.
Good evening, Maziraf. I greet you. Congratulations to every Biafran. I really enjoyed myself. I was schooled. I was schooled today.
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations.
I am telling you, sir. I am so happy.
Come here.
Can't wait to start the voting.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So my question is this. My question is this. Hi, fine girl, Biafran child. How are you? How are you? Okay.
She doesn't disturb me since make she come front of camera. Now she wants.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So my question is this: when he made the declaration about sit at home, I only heard about the Thursday. How long will it last? How long will it take?
He will update us on that. If it's going to take more than the days he has mentioned, definitely you're going to hear that from us again.
Okay.
So the day he mentioned on that Thursday is the day. So if it's going to be if there's going to be an addendum, surely you will hear from us.
Okay. Another question is this: I like a husband and wife who they are all Biafrans. So, but one come from different state. They are not from the same state. If the wife want to vote, should the wife vote from her own state or from the husband's state where she's married to?
You know, the thing is online. The thing is going to be voting online. So
yes.
It depends. I think the choice will be hers to make.
Okay.
The choice will be hers to make. If both of you decide that she will vote from your state, fantastic. If she wants to vote from her state, every vote is one. Whether she votes in your state or her state, her vote will be counted as one. And it's also as valid as when she votes in either of the states. So it is okay, whichever way. Just make that choice.
Thank you very much for good work you are doing. Wonderful work. You and Mazugo and our Minister of Information. People are doing wonders. Yeah.
Thank you.
God bless you. And good night.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Be safe where you are. Thank you. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
All right. We have our own worry sister. Take the microphone, worry. Helen says, I'm voting from my state. Fantastic. Worry, are you there?
I'm here, my darling brother. Good evening.
Worry, they carry last. Oh, yeah.
We need they carry last. So I'm so happy, so feeling today. I don't want him to stop. That man is full of God knows what. I don't know what God imparts in that guy. I just don't want him to stop. It was just bringing history upon history that he himself was not born. He was bringing it out to these people that they think they know too much with their big grammar that they speak in America and in England. But look at him. They keep on saying he's arrogant. Why won't he be arrogant? Why won't he be? Can you do what he's doing? No. You don't go fit one. Kaka. That's why I call him heavy olorogu na be. It's too much. Me, I don't have any question. No, me, I'm ready. I never knew that they would do sit at home to do it, because a lady was suggesting that some of us can go, some of them can go to the place, be taking the pictures, and they are sending it to the soldiers where they will be staying or residing with generator and that, so that they're doing it. But now that they put it at home, obviously they cannot go and buy the picture.
What's happening to
Get,
your network? What's
you can't
happening to
hear
your
me.
network? It's wobbling.
Oh, I don't know why you.
Go ahead. It's
That,
clear now. It's clear now.
okay, okay. You know, because the lady suggested that they should go to the market and be taking people's pictures and details and send it to the food soldiers wherever they are going to be residing, because of generator or less power on their phones. But you know, by the time they will start doing this thing, the power on their battery will be going, you know, going less and lower. So maybe if there can be somewhere like where the generators are, like they said, and somebody will be in the market just taking the pictures and their data and their details, send it to them. So, but with this sit at home now, that idea is already ruled out. So they will be at home. So the ones will not get phone when go they home, when go they inside. How will they do it? How can they? Because some of them don't have, like the old ones, they don't have phones. So how will the people that are food soldiers go to them when they sit at home? You know, that is my question, my brother.
No, come again. Come again with your question, please. I didn't get you. I thought you said you didn't have question. I didn't pay
Yes,
attention. We're just giving
yes.
you.
Okay, PM said they sit at home on the 1st. Okay, but people were supposed to be going around taking people's picture and details to send to the food soldiers, the people that are with the iPad or wherever, that have been doing the loading and registering people, filling for people, because there will be somewhere with generators. They cannot go about because the battery will run low, like I said, you know. So there will be somewhere, then one person or two will be in the market just taking pictures, taking their details and send. Take picture with their details and send to the people that is sitting somewhere, uploading and doing the thing because of generator, so that the battery will not run low. But with this sit at home, people that doesn't have phone in the rural area, how will they get to them if they sit at home to
No.
you know?
Now
to
remember that the voting on the 1st is called early voting. It is early voting, and thank God that this voting is not something you go to the polling station. It is something you vote on your own comfort. So what it means is that
Absolutely.
the sit at home. Yeah, can you mute yourself first? Let me explain this thing for us. Can you just mute? Okay. The sit at home is very, very effective and should be made very effective. Nobody should be moving up and down because of voting. Because the voting doesn't permit you to move up and down. The voting is supposed to be at the comfort of wherever you are. Okay. So what it means is that if you know that the voting will involve you moving from one location to the other, then you do your voting the next day. Because that voting is not one day voting. Remember that the first part of this voting is going to be from that first day to the end to May. Like our Prime Minister said, he said it is divided into 3 parts. So that very first part is going to culminate in May. So which means that if you don't vote on the first day, you can vote the next day or the 3rd day. Do you understand? So that sit at home, there should be no excuse for that sit at home. So if you cannot comfortably vote in the comfort of your home that day because of generator or no charging of your phone, stay wherever you are and do the movement the next day, because voting continues the next day, the next day, the next day, until the end of February to March and May and April even. Do you understand? So we call it early voting. So the voting is starting early so that if there are any inconveniences we encounter, we'll be able to take care of them along the way. So that's it at home. There shouldn't be anything that will hamper it. I don't know if I've made sense.
You're absolutely correct. You made
All
very
right.
good
Thank you
sense.
very much.
It's
So
okay,
nobody should
yeah,
give
because
excuse.
it's different.
Nobody should give excuse of
Absolutely.
it is because I want to go and vote. It's because I want to go
Yes.
and meet my brother in
Yes.
Ihiala. I am living in Uli. I want to go to
Mm.
Ihiala. It is because I want to go and meet my brother in Head Bridge. I am living in Owerri. I want to travel. On that day, it's locked down. Don't
Yeah.
go anywhere. Stay where you are because it is ghost town on that day. So that day is a day that you are supposed to, the day before, if there are any challenges you are going to have, fix them on the 31st and get yourself seated in your house eating your offense salad very quietly and safely. And while the voting will start, the voting will just start. It doesn't finish. It only starts on that day. Thank you, Warri sister.
Thank you.
Okay, so Warri sister is still here. If she had another question, she will see add. Everybody coming in tonight are having network challenges. What's happening here? Onu Paul Chinonso, is your network good?
Hello. Hello.
Eh? Paul Chinonso, do you have a good network? Because Patrick Okonkwo is hanging. Gets money.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please. You have the microphone.
Thank you, Pastor Van Van Van.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just have one quick question here. This voting, I don't know how safe our people in the whole land is, and when they go about this very voting, because like let's say the Telegram, where they are coming in as groups, it looks to me like the zoological animal kingdom may go there to start to trace those numbers, especially the one from home.
I don't want us to be asking questions that will be preemptive or giving. We don't want to sound negative at all. These people, we have been able to curtail them till this time. There's nothing that the zoo will do that should be a surprise to any one of us, especially those of us that have come a long way. We have come a long way. We have seen 99. It is not 100 that will frighten us now. Okay? We have seen 99. So what is 100? 100 is just 1 plus 99. So that means if we have gotten to 99, then we should comfortably resolve 100 when we get there. So we shouldn't preempt or begin to assume or think. Whatever they have or whatever they come with, we are going to be equal to the task. We are up to it. We are going to stop them. I'm telling you, our people are resolute. Our people are resolved. Do you know that in Biafra land today, people have already made up their mind? You see them even talking about Biafra with comfort and with ease. You see people even going about and doing their things. We have subdued Nigeria. In case you don't know, I'm telling you, we have subdued them. We have subdued them. So gone are the days when people fear. The only thing we no longer do is going to protest. We no longer go to protest. But when it comes to Biafra, people are proudly Biafrans now. If Nigerians can open their gutter and say they are proudly Nigerians, how can you, with Biafra full of hope and life, how can you not be proudly Biafran or Guinea? So let's just overcome that fear and move on. Thank you.
It's all right. Why I make the point is, like to encourage our people that they shouldn't take it as something, because a lot of them might be fearing something like that.
Yeah, we overcome that fear. Let anybody that is nursing that fear, please kill that fear already. Kill it already. It is dead on arrival.
Yeah.
Daddy Olama is calling me. Let me take that, my precious sister. Ezbo Daddy Olama. And I'm live. Oh, Zibo. Okay. Yeah. So anything we have to do to make everyone know that we are fearless, we just have to do it.
Oh yeah, one love.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So go ahead. If there who else is on my stage, Chukwuma Obinna, please go on and make your point if you are alive and active there.
Yeah, yes, I'm alive. I hope I'm coming out loud and clear.
Live and direct.
Okay. I'm going to obele ego small, my brother. Obi atabugo m. Mmiri zowe, anwụ chawa. Ịmana nga abalị unu onye kpọrọ masị. Ọ na-akpọ m onye aka ya ogeri, onye na-aṅụ mmanya. Ịmana nga agba abalị unu onye kpọrọ masị. Ọkwa that in Finland, that nwa akpụda. And I forget your name. Are they seeing what he's doing? Are they seeing the young man that this man stand tall among the giants that are fearful? Look at it. My brother, because I was with people and Daddy Olama some time ago on the program. And I was saying that it's like that home go there on the 1st of the February that we do the vote. And he replied that he did not know. Now, I want to ask you people now, mostly you, are you going the same thing? Are you doing the same thing our PM normally do? You say you normally go to our leader's heart and collect message and give to Biafra. It seems like you go to our PM heart and get information that Fit at Home will be on 1st of February. It's like you, is it true? Because you people mentioned this thing. I was with you people on program, and I didn't ask you that thing, and he replied. The way he replied, assured me that Sit at Home will be, and here our PM has declared it. So therefore, my brothers and sisters that are listening our voice, there's nothing to fear. Definitely, the zoo will do their propaganda as usual.
Yes.
So let
ana m ekenezi nwanne m
ana m ekene nwanne nwoke na-ekene from Holland.
Ndewo
nna ifukwana ihe a nukwu na dadu na-eme program nwanne na-ajụ Pastor Bambam.
Amam nke wee ma ibe anyị kewe
biko nji jụ ihe ndị zoo ga-eme. Remove fear from your mind. Remove fear. A hero doesn't need to fear.
Yeah, Chukuma. Your
network
is shaking.
Anything. This thing is. It's not something that will happen. Stop only on 1st of February. It will continue.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but the network.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. It's fluctuating. Hello. Okay, maybe you will go out and come back again, please. Adadi Alamba biko keno mu Biafra na they happy to see you.
Gini. Ụmụchukwu okike abịa nwe ekene mụ na ekene nwoke niile kene nwaanyị ikwu na ibe kene ndị mbụ na ndị egede ozokporo ada wee kene Chukwu okike abịa ma onye mere ada ji were nọ n'elu ụwa today na ọ dịrị izi. Unu anụghị ife ama ụmụnne nke ka unu da ma na siri unu ike unu ejere nata unu afụgo ife awalida gwara anyị unu afụgo ka esi wee gbaa anyị ya o nyere anyị ya nni ndụ oife o nyere anyị okwu agbamume oife o nyere anyị ka m gwagodo n'ụlọ ebe awa prime minista abata obi ụwa n'ụwa niile kwuru kwusie ike ụjọ na ọra esheke saa ya isobe ihe egwu atụ n'anyị nna ebe ọ kwuru kwụsị ike ọmụnwa ka egwu ji atụ ebe egwu ejewe atụ m nwanyị egwu ya ejizikụtụ m ebe ọ sa anyị ngwa anyị niile ya eso ya n'azụ na-eji ọnwụ nọ na na-eje ọgbawara ụzọ na-eje anyị agbawara ụzọ na-esie ya esi na ọzọ ha azụ ada ndị mbụ na ndị egede ya adụ azụ and adị mishọn ọnụ nwa ụmụ Biafra ya adụ azụ ụmụ Chukwu okike abịa ma duolitin nna ya onye ọwụrụ binye the only person enweghị ike ibinye n'ụwa onye condition na na bai ya ndị Igbo ndị Biafra nọ today dị mma arụ na-ekwe na anya ife mere today bọọsụ dị ụmụaka bọọsụ loduru ụmụazị bọọsụ loduru ụmụazị gara ibe ụmụaka mere The one Nigeria. So much work Kabiama. How this kind of thing happen in na buy I need to see get up. Or vote. You na beg to yesing je kwa na line. One yesing to your life in danger. And one yesing no your house. And this sit at your home. Let everybody respect this sit at home. Because we are history. Call day. Biafra, the first day, Biafra video their referendum, then we total lockdown at the whole Biafra. So let everybody get up and do the needful. That's so you book. So Muchukua Kada, Mamma, back and Napukanda Batara, Nandi Kayapa, Nandi Yabata, Batakafu. Eh? Iwan and Kaiva, knock it out when you could know why you know. I am yes, soon why you know. We are from distant on one walk. Kayapunu Punya. One day walk a vam. Now, Prime Minister will have Mamma's Anna. Hey, all of I thought you were can't be a shadow. Now we be that. I quite getting can do
Chukuma Binna, Adika Okwakadegano. Chukuma Kwakadegano. But Chukuma de Kusigo. Please, Abuna, if you have any question to ask us, okay, Ike Peters, let's see if Ike Peters.
Yes, so yes, my brother Oku did not. Yes, my dear. How can I finish?
Because in case natural good. In case I want IG number van, you can call me so that
please, yeah, I even prefer that you call Adandin Bunandegede. Because my own
anyone
here.
So I won't even will play or anything. Oh, we are here.
At least I know.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. 20 minutes is okay. Because I try to borrow here PM go today. Or just come on when they have more questions.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I am going to round up in 2 minutes. Round up.
Can you hear me?
Chukuma round up in 2 minutes.
Okay, my brother. Before network let them stop fearing that what we are doing I have confirmed it. And I catch cool there, just like our normally put on his program. So we will remove fear in anything you are doing on this referendum. Just come out and vote on your comfort zone. Thank you, my brother. Thank you and good night.
Thank you very much, Chineke. Kashi for everyone. Ola dole. Can they wish you there's no
yeah. All right. Ike Peters. You want to add to Charejo? Because I want to hear Charity. Ike Peters. Ike Peters.
Où se trouve la parfumerie secrète où j'ai acheté?
Ike Peters. Even Ike Peters cannot talk because the network is not letting him. All right. Worry sister, you still there? So, Biafrans, I want to believe that if questions are not coming, it means that we have gotten it all. So that means we have to be ready because after tomorrow, we will go straight into the voting. Yes. Remember, let me repeat again, the sit at home you are going to be having on the 1st of February should be one of its kind. Everywhere in Biafra land, you must know that on that day is our referendum initial, the very first day of our voting, and our Prime Minister, Obato Obie, has declared that day a total shutdown in Biafra land.
Yes.
Total and complete shutdown. Everybody must respect the order of the Prime Minister. Shut down. So that you prepare yourself for the referendum, both mentally, spiritually, and otherwise, just to get yourself ready for the long haul, because we are in for a beautiful and a bumpy ride that will take us to the
Hello. 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 Good evening, sir. Hello. And from Kosiapo. Hello.
Network.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Bachem no n'ọlụ, Chai no n'ọlụ.
Hello.
Nna na-ekwu Biafra na-ege gị ntị. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, anyị na-anụ ife ị na-ekwu.
Okay. Ka auditorium ma ya gọzie unu na-agbalị ka Chineke nye unu abalị igwe.
Thank you.
Ihe ntị ka m jụọ bụ dị kuma m na-emechi fọm ga-abata ya bụ na ihe a atụ na-agapụta ntọrọtụ esi enweta dị ya na-enweta gị ụlọ na-achị oge agapụta anya m sị ka m jụọ mana etọ esi
Ada n'ihe onye a na-ekwu.
Network ya dị so bad. Nna network dị so bad. Anyị ada n'ihe na-ekwu. With network ya dị so bad. Vam. Network ya dị so bad. Hello. Network dị so bad. Hello. Bon. Biafrans. Nwanne anyị nwoke chọrọ ịgwa ịjụ ajụ bete na netwọk ya dị mma. Biko kwuchie ya iwe ka ma ọ bụrụ na ị chọọ ka anyị bịakwa live inwe time na anyị ka nwere ike bịakwa.
Chiejigo no anyị emechi nke ya. Ike Peters, ama m enwe ihe chọrọ ikwu, and one of our brother na look, let me advise our people. We have gone too far to allow anything to distract us. Yeah. Hello. Do you want to ask a question on the program?
Oh, yes. From here.
Your network at the Hoku good. Even I cannot hear you very well. Your network at the Hoku good. Your network. Okay, who's talking now? Who's talking? Everybody, I don't know whether all of them are connecting from the zoo. The network is really bad. So I'm sorry, we're going to end this. I'm going to give my closing remark, and I'm going to allow Adad Rama.
Let me just listen.
Hello, Ike Peters, are you there? No, I'm sorry. All right. Please don't allow anything to distract you. We have gone too far to allow anything to distract us. Okay? So anything you think you have seen or you are hearing, we have heard even worse things before. You know, the success story of the Biafra Republic government in exile is too blatant. When I say blatant, it is too glaring for anybody to be a stupor before us. It is too shiny. Our star is too bright for any devil to raise their ugly head.
At all. They're too small.
Right. I'm telling you the truth.
We're moving forward, not back forward.
Again,
even now they wear sabo or without the sabo, they wear sabo. Man, even we see.
Okay, we see.
Even they wear sabo niya. Mbana the money be the be. Yeah, when they sabo too. So vam.
Yeah. So please, Chukwama, don't worry, okay? Chukwama, don't worry. We are those things you are talking about is under control. Understand? So at the right time, everything will be, attended to. So don't take your mind off it and focus on the referendum. I'm telling you, there will be no. Biafrans are tired of Nigeria.
Yes.
Biafrans, 80 million Biafrans are tired of Nigeria. One gossip will not make them.
No, come on, when the
you understand?
Hey, that's it.
80 million kaedi. Ike Nigeria aguga anyi. Ogini. Imagine that Namadu digiri Nigeria. Survive for 20 pounds. Survive for war. Survive for everything. Survive for relegation, demonization, dehumanization. Survive for everything. Even Nkobera ain't not going to be now for more than 2 years. You survive. That thing in Finland. Nobody. Nigeria agent. Tinubu boy. He survived for everything.
On a boom mother. On a boom mother. Upon all the short people are so bad.
Yeah. So for those of you to understand that Chukwama is our man on this platform. He's also an admin on the platform. So show him some respect, please. And Chukwama, just let's continue on the winning stride, okay? Thank you. Daddy Olamma, I give you the microphone so that we'll round it up.
Oh, wonderful, and I get on what I even JJ was Sunday, but and they I'll meet the body bonasos undo bandu bediza. Mana Kevin Namum, but I will face someone which is sophisticated. Really, just sophisticated as Sunday, but and they so much work Kabiama. Bicon 1st of February. Onyo wanna make a show, sit at home, total lockdown. Imanambose and the Obiado Kwanduzu Mao because half an Biafra Naya. That is vote I would take I chogoni by fire by force. And the hammer that no night to try I succeed ye Naya Nago. So I made everything he would have no be. So that first I had to sit at home, make a shot in on your house. About PG will a main load. And the Malazikwan about Bubana was not able to everywhere. They will put Morgan and Melentan and Kele. So for Guma, can have you water edgy way, no flanigi chuacha. Now the occultic chamber. On they were called organ. Where to ne na Nolana na begi. There is respect here and Biafra safely referendum that is sit at home.
Yes.
If you know that now the freedom is very important for you, as I now shout Biafra, 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 they put the Biafra. Now, Biafra, they put the no.
How got the Biafra kind of free her?
What is it? You don't need just emails. You put it.
I'm telling you.
My dear, only one to vote. Only one to against this referendum vote. I had to wear sabo. In fact, all Igbo Fulani. I'm going to Igbo Fulani too much.
Yes, yes.
Don't let them deceive you. Hang about their own mission to conquer Biafra land. Don't hang up on our Chineke. After years ago, Unaya na Boko, Umaya de Bujasi. And a boy Benine, and a boy in Lagos, and a boy in Wausa, after one anibu. Kai, when I say by way, kick, but I go yadi, or we better come on a beer rest of mind. Or why one obodoibo, and I'm at 12 mother baby didn't be put in a bemback for Mongolian Jogo. So Muchineke, I shall freedom. Freedom, no way the Kia. Ne kweni koda na ka de kwe bia fly na ebelakwa ne kwe bia fly ji will sacrifice everything. Many people will makia, so many family lose room de maka Biafra. The only thing here nyonya na family go maka Biafra we ti akado be say yes na-enwu maka Biafra na make sure that the ibe iji wee nwu na-enwu na nkịtị na-abụ. Get up and they grab Biafra. For that person sacrifice onwe ka onwe happy na n'iyi. Oya wuri ife iwe aṅụrị, oya wuri ife obi ụtọ, oya wuri ife ugwu that no niile ana mmụọ were ife obodo ahụ o ji wee nye ndị ya na-enwetaghị oye jezi ya perfect rest in peace. Mana ọwụ that na ịgbakọtara ya azụ ma na ịgbakọtara afụfụ niile ọ tara n'azụ ma na ịgbakọtara ude niile ọ sụrụ were nwụọ. So for you to give that person that honor, get up and vote. Onwe kwibe asịgụ mee ọkwa na mobile phone go. Isu ọhụ n'oche dị na begu. Hey, isu ọhụ ozigbo ihe ma ya pụta ọbata obi esi from 12 o'clock in the midnight. Ọkwa ibe okwu 12 o'clock ka 12 nke ehihie ka nke abalị amazi m. Mana also not 12 o'clock nke abalị amazi. Yes, 12 o'clock maka 12 o'clock I abade go the first. Bam! Now watch your phone. Ozigbo inweta the distance. Shia Biafrans adigo ready. If not candidate and under by na village or kakwa enwe ndu no obodo oyibo duku ready self. So umuchukwu okike abịama. Mma agba break. Doritin na Yunus bi o ọbata obi emechala na ihe niile o emela anyị. Nke fọziri na nwanyị nwere emela ya onwe anyị. Onwekwe mmụọ ego. Onwele ego dị na ya. Anaghị eji ego atụ vote. Onwele ọ na-abịa asị gị na ihe akwụ ego ne dị otu a ka m were nyere gị aka say ya go to hell all free of charge. Si ya na ọ ka gụnye ya ego data o ji wee mie that means go for referendum. Ejighị ego egote goro referendum. So
ada asị ngwa gị na certificate ihe na-akpọ ya n'Igbo bụ asambodo.
Ọkụ na ndị Igbo enyekwara ya aba o. That asambodo will come out. Okay. Ọkụ na eje ndakwa iwu. Ọnwa akwa asambodo a. Nna anyị nwere m asambodo n'asụsụ Igbo. Enwere nye nna abai onne. So asambodo ejije so ụmụchukwu okike abịama. Oya awụla anyị ibe ọṅụ na itulu ugo. Si n'aka ndị a na-avọchi were pụọ. Damaghị ya nọ. Abịa na slọta anyị. Na-egbuchasị anyị. Kedu ka o ya adịghị? Biko na ụmụ Chineke. Onye dị ndụ onye na-ekwunu.
Yes.
Oye ekwekwe. Because na ndị mbụ na ndị egede ya sa ya ebe ka anyị nọ. Then fight. Ha nụkara ọgụ iji wee dowe ala Igbo n'ọdụ today. Mana ọ na ilu uzu onye ịma na anyị onye ahụ anyị enweghị isi mana Chukwu oke abịa ma anyị ekwe. Ụmụ Chukwu oke abịa ma ana m ewu isi unu niile. Ụla doledo ka m na-enye ụmụnne m ụla doledo n'aka Chineke nna ya esi wee kpuchie unu n'obe aka ya. Otu aka Chukwu okike abịa ma ya esi kpuchie unu n'obe aka ya. Isi anya awụ na afọ anya atụ unu. Ajọ mmụọ ajọ mmadụ ebe ọsọ kwanya si uke mmadụ anya afọ unu n'abalị a. Unu ya ala tete n'udo. And a gwara m unu si ụzọ ibe na-abụ ka m na-enye unu ibe na-ewu isi unu ogologo ndụ na ala isi ike. Ọgwụcha ka Chukwu were gọziele m unu niile kpuchigidere m unu. Ise kachiwo na ụmụnne m kachiwo.
Ka anyị godo onye batara ebe a ka anyị 1 minute. Ọnwụlụ eze akụ. I nwere question ka ọ nwere ịchọrọ itinye because anyị emechigo church agbasago.
Thank you, Pastor Van.
Onye na-ekwu voice ga-atọgbu m ngwa go on.
Na ya ka ụda.
I'm very, 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 very happy hearing our Prime Minister this evening.
Yes.
Well, it is a classic State of the Union. I want to ask, I don't know if you intensify the messages to the bishops, because I met one of the bishops today.
Okay.
And if I have heard about the seat at home, I would have raised it to discuss with him, because that bishop, his clergymen called him Biafran bishop.
Okay.
So, because every first day of the month, most of them are having programs. in their cathedrals for every people. So if the message will be passed to them in a second time for that their program to be shifted, if possible, second. So
we have to pass it here across. If you have the phone number of the bishop, you can send it across, or you pass the message across also. If you can reach the bishop.
I was the one that sent the message to you, their numbers, phone number, emails, and their emails address to your WhatsApp.
You sent it to my WhatsApp. Have I opened it?
Yes, you said you have copied it and it's already in Prime Minister desk, because I was the one that requested for it in Twitter space.
Okay. It was you. Okay. Can you just give me hi on WhatsApp again so that I'll store your number? Because I responded without knowing that it was you.
Okay.
Just give me hi on my WhatsApp again so that I will.
Okay. I will do that.
Please.
Thank you. I don't know.
And there was one he said,
God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, man of God.
Now voice here, Haley.
Thank you. Echi muna dadora maga aputakwa echi. The final night. I got the update more. And I don't know, maybe na Mas Uche also will come. You know,
it's not. I want you at first.
It's at first. So yeah, okay, that is tomorrow. Tomorrow can get the update, the final update on how the voting will take place. So we are still going to be live again tomorrow. The Biafra Republic government will be live tomorrow to give everybody the final update on how to go about this.
I can do it see me live and like that. It's not very easy and simple. I am Motaku not and them and they get 80 very very kemma. Esra mono moto wuji neke. Ah, quite the volleyball no you walk what the volleyball you.
Somebody na joke, my brother. Mama, well, the sit at home is only one day. Yes, only one day. So they can vote the next day. Only on that day. Only on that first. Both that lockdown. But remember that any day but Monday. Any day but Monday. As far as no Monday. Obru go sit at home. Also go there bro first, or bro second, or bro anything. As far as no Monday. But mo can go kuya na abo on first. Only on first go game. But Monday obuna. Only obuna mana no man say na become day. Ada yoku ne. Yata ada kamwe. Ada change. Yaga zero no munne.
Wow.
Let me play my music.
Off life.
You don't say to mama, you don't read. Says the tracking angel. You don't boast to mama, you don't cut. Now chain you the cut. Okay, now make I use my microscope, scan a reality, scan nigga area Biafra phobia mentality. See, set my name they can free. One war, they don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, most I judge a bless Biafra. Chuko Gita Biama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Started in 1804 by Uthman down Fodio. Rinom go build to Sokoto. Sa Amadou Bello. They massacred the Hausa, Marili and Pura. What about the Shua? Zamfara and Adamawa. Referendum is the voice of everyone. Real freedom. Yahweh must be done on the land. Simon, they don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra. Most I judge bless Biafra. Chuko Gita Biama bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Biafra. They tried by the canories. This reckless foolery. They conquered the Lorraine. Fooling. Niger State and Plateau State. He who love me to bed state every day, every day, every day. Our move, don't do. Say we move, but now we move. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless Biafra. Chukwu Kika Biafra bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. We know that they are the terrorists. Like the man called Shegumi terrorist. Gabe Sheva Dosinabemi terrorist. Isa Ali Ibrahim Batami terrorist. Boko Haram in the army terrorist. They stop the people from farming terrorist. Abubakar Malami terrorist. Mainstream media swami terrorist. Now we have more sellers than buyers. Information minister liar. Mr. like Mohammed and liar. The truth is Biafra's fire. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, Biafra. Most I Jaja bless. Chukwu Kika Biafra bless. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. They can come into Biafra land, one them run them out of Oduduwa land, one them and run them out now, run them out now. Yo, divided nations, decent, playing their bloody games against Biafra with the AU all the same. What a shame, such a pain. Nnamdi Kanu says Biafra, he comes away Biafra. Black people worldwide say Biafra, Marcus gave away. Biafra.
You see, the land of Biafra must be defended at all cost. At all cost. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody. You see, the land of Biafra must be defended at all cost. At all cost. It is the land of God, given to his children for their eternal habitation. We may have failed in the past to recognize this very fact, but now that this generation has come, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us from restoring the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth in the land of Biafra, without apologies to anybody.